Hey everybody, welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with the bestie Mandy.
And I'm here with my bestie Jessica.
So we're gonna be talking about our top 10 books plus 2 audiobooks from the month of July. So that's 5 each in order from 5 to 1. So you definitely want to stick around and hear about the best books we read this month. At least in our opinion. Yeah. Before we do that though, you got anything you want to tell them?
Well, check out channel membership if you're interested, as well as our Amazon storefront. Great ways to support us, as well as just hitting that subscribe button and liking, commenting, and hyping. But also, we have Chasing Fire by Avery Kingston. This is our giveaway going on right now, actually. So you can be entered to win by hitting that subscribe button and then either commenting on this week's 1 minute book recs or the weeks before. And we will be announcing the winner on Monday, August. What, Jessica?
I don't know. 8th?
Huh?
Tomorrow's the 3rd.
Monday, August 10th. On
There we
that
go.
1 minute book recs, the winner will be announced, and we'll also be announcing our next giveaway.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk stats. What you got for
Yes.
July?
In July, I read 36 books.
And how many 5 stars?
8.
Okay. Now, I know you're going to quiz me on this one, but I counted this 3 times. I read 45 in July.
Why would I quiz you on that?
I don't know, because I felt like I counted 3 times because I was like, is that right? But I did. I read 45 in July. I had 7 5 stars.
Congratulations.
So, yeah, congrats to you too. So let's get talking.
Yeah, let's start with our top audiobook.
I already know what it is, so I'm good.
Oh.
I work quickly. I forgot my audiobook and I was like, crap. But no, I got it. I got it now. So, do you really want to start with our top audiobook?
Sure, if you want to. I was just
okay.
with you.
Okay. Well, I don't know who did it though, but that's okay. It doesn't matter because I'm not gonna be able to look that up right now anyway. So, anyhow, my top audiobook for the month is Good for Her by Tyler Page. This is a really fun book. It is dark, but it is fun. This is about our heroine, Evie. She is the daughter to like the scream queen, like the slasher queen, in Hollywood. And at the beginning of the book, we see her with her boyfriend, who is Sebastian, and he is also an actor on this film set. And they have like their first time together when her mom is supposed to be out meeting some investors or meeting some guys they're in the Hollywood industry. And later that night, they're in the studio. They're not supposed to be, but they are, and they find her mom dead. And it looks like it's a suicide, but they swear up and down that it's not. Well, now we fast forward, I think it's like 5 years later, and Evie has grown up. She was 17 when this happened. Now she has grown up and she is going back to get revenge on the people who murdered her mother. And Sebastian has made it big as a Hollywood star. And so she gets in because she's the daughter of this girl. It's like a Nepo baby situation. She actually gets a job working on the newest film. And he and her are going to be co-stars together. So it was really good.
Okay. My top audio was It's About Time by Harlow James. And this is narrated by Molly Stark and James Cassidy. And this is the 4th and final book in Blossom Peak. So in this one, we have enemies to lovers, brother's best friend, fake engagement, and he also falls first. So we are hit, and he's pierced. So we hit a lot of tropes in this one. So Elliot's soon-to-be wife, or his bride, calls off their wedding right before the wedding. And he doesn't handle that very well, as most people would not. And he kind of spirals. And things go south for him pretty quickly with like drinking and things like that. And Dylan feels for him, even though she can't really stand Elliot, she feels bad for him. And he's part of their social group, being best friends with her brother. So she goes to his house and like tries to get him to snap out of it and that sort of thing. And then it leads to a situation where his dad has hired his ex at the firm that he works at, and he's finding this information out right when Dylan shows up, and Dylan just tries to save the day by blurting out that they're engaged and getting married soon. So I love this one. Audio was fantastic. It made me laugh out loud many times, as well as get very emotional. So I think that's a testament to some great narrators when they bring all those emotions out in the book.
For sure. Yeah. Okay, so now let's start with our top 5. So, book number 5 for me, and hold on, my book's going to close on me, and I'm going to be in trouble. Is Held by M.L. Marion. This is I can't remember. This is book 4 in her Finders Keepers series. There is like a novella in there too somewhere. But this is about Mara and Warren. So what you need to know about this one, named comes before this one. I would recommend reading it. You don't have to. It can be read as a standalone, but both of these take place back in the 1800s. And it is about this family who the men, basically, they choose their woman. They don't necessarily club her over the head and take her, but they do take her. And then they spend the next year of their life trying to convince that person to love them and fall in love with them. And so they kind of do things backwards, but it is what these men are known for in this family. And so we have Warren, who has come across Mara at the end of book 1, but now we see her. She is pregnant. She has been basically sold by a man that she believes to be her father as a prostitute. She's pregnant, doesn't know who the father is because it was somebody, who was with her and she didn't necessarily want him to be. And Warren, like, she goes into labor and Warren takes her back into town, and he has the midwife come to her. And then next thing you know, he brings the priest in and he's like, this is my baby, and I want to do right by this woman, and I want to take her home as my wife. And so the priest marries them right then and there as she is in labor. And she's very guarded. She, understandably so, she doesn't trust him. She doesn't trust men at all. But this is a safe place for her and her baby until she can run, until she can leave. And so she does go home with him reluctantly. And he is just this giant cinnamon roll. He is not going to touch her or do anything that she doesn't want until she wants to have a relationship with him. And so he is just, this is about her healing, but from the get-go, he has a connection with that baby, and we just see it. He loves that baby. These guys are like, yeah, they do something stupid by like taking these women, but at the same time, they're the sweetest guys. These are cinnamon roll heroes right here. So, and I love it. Big country burly guy, and he gonna get him a woman. So,
Okay.
okay.
Okay, so number 5 for me is A Major Puck Up by Brittany Nicole. And this one, we have Dad's Best Friend, which I love these ones so much. So we have Gavin and Millie. Gavin has been kind of living his life and doing the role he's expected to, but really he wants to be more involved in hockey. He would love to coach and be involved, but instead he's kind of the business guy. So he's kind of just stuck in a little bit of a rut. He meets Millie at a bar one night and they end up hooking up. And then he finds out that Millie is his best friend's daughter. So he is very familiar with his best friend's son because he plays on the team that his family owns, but he hasn't seen Millie in years and doesn't recognize her. But Millie recognized him. So Millie is a little bit bitter about some things that have happened in her life with her own father, and she might be out for a little bit of revenge there. And then things are just gonna go from there. And I don't want to give too much away, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks
All
good.
right. Okay. Yeah, it is good, but I like that. So the next book I have that is in the number 4 spot is Kuriel, and this is by Lillian Harris. This is about our heroine, Sloane, who is a single mom, but her sister actually has her son, and she is blackmailing her into leaving the child with her. And so Sloane is living in her car, and she is waitressing at a restaurant. Kuriel owns the restaurant, and he has a thing for Sloane. He's been keeping an eye on her, and he shows up every single day with his son. His son is I think he's like 7 or 8 in this, and he's autistic. And the son likes Sloan. Like the son perks up to Sloan. He will smile for Sloan. He'll do things that he doesn't necessarily do for anybody else. And so for Kirill, that has endeared Sloan to him, and he also just wants to take care of her. Some things happen, some things go right. It is mafia. Eventually she becomes a nanny to the little boy, but what about her own son? And it's like a whole thing. And that's all I'm going to say about it. I went into it blind. I think you guys should too. It is worth noting that Lillian has a son who is autistic, and the autism, one of our viewers told me this, but the autism is done so well because Lillian lives that every single day. So it was very, very good.
Okay. Are you ready for my next one?
I am.
My lady.
Yes.
Okay. And my number 4 spot is Scars of You by Maddie Daniel. And this is the second book in the Amity series. So here we have Bailey, who's basically just been running from her childhood. They had a very crappy upbringing. It was really horrific, and she just wants nothing to do with her siblings anymore because she just doesn't want to think about that time, doesn't want to bring them down. So she lives in this really tiny town where she runs coffee stand. When she first got to this town, she had a one night stand with somebody, and then found out that this guy was her neighbor, and he kind of just drives her nuts and is obnoxious. And Wes is a retired military. He has some PTSD and some other things that really plague him. He gets tricked into fostering a dog, and things start to change between the two of them. But he's still got a lot of stuff to work through, as does Bailey. And I just really love this one because it really deals with both of their traumas in an authentic way as they try to navigate their future.
Okay. All right. Book number 3 for me, I actually read on July 1st. So like this one, I feel like I read it. I was like, we sure that was this month? But yes, it was. And it's one that you read this month too. So this is Saving Jesse's Girl by Lauren Beale. And this is about Emmy and Benji. So the beginning of the book, Emmy is a waitress, and she is it's kind of crazy in the restaurant that she's in. And so she ends up getting flagged down by this guy and his brother at the table, and that is Benji and Jesse. And Benji is mute, and Emmy knows sign language. And so when Benji is telling his brother he needs something to drink or he wants water or whatever it is, Emmy is able to communicate with him. He can hear, but he doesn't speak. And so Benji is, tattooed and pierced and total bad boy. He's got the total bad boy looks. Jesse is clean cut car salesman. And so she ends up starting to date Jesse. But what we're seeing is the facade on the outside and not what the people, they're identical twins, but like what is on the inside. Jesse has some hangups. Jesse has some issues. Jesse might be abusive. And so Benji, seeing what's going on, and he has this connection with Emmy, he's going to have to save her from his brother. Oops. Go.
Interesting.
It is, isn't it?
I read it.
Yeah, you did. Okay.
Okay.
And you liked it too.
I did. Yeah. Okay. Next up is, so what are we on? Number 3. So is Everything We Couldn't Say by Emma Scott. And in this one, we have Harper. And so this is YA. It's Castle Hill Academy. Harper her family has just moved to this new place, but they live on the Bend, so she's called Bender, which means she's from the poor side of town. And we have like this very elitist school that she's going to attend. And some of the kids just aren't very nice to the kids that they think less of, which is probably fairly typical for high school, but it's amplified in this setting because the kids who go to this school have a lot of money. And Harper is dealing with her mom, who is an alcoholic, who still continues to struggle with her alcoholism. She has a little brother that she feels responsible for and she's basically raising him, and she's taking care of her mom as well while she's trying to go to school. She's also trying to win this science scholarship. And then we have Orion. Orion is one of the top 5 wealthiest kids in the school. He is from England, and he's also battling some of his own problems, which Harper's going to end up helping him with. And yeah, I loved it, obviously. I can't get a switch back. There we go.
Okay.
I have a headache and I am so tired. I am having a hard time staying awake.
Well, we're
I'm going to
almost done.
nap while you talk.
Cool. I'll wake you up in a minute.
Thank you.
Okay, so the book that landed in the number 2 spot for me was the newest release this month by Lilith Vincent, and that is Twisted Devotion. This is the 3rd book in her Ruthless Arrangement series. I don't think you have to have read the other books. They can all be read as standalones. I mean, I have read them, but I don't feel like you need to because I read them out of order. So this is about Mina and Cristiano. Mina is the daughter to the housekeeper in Cristiano's family. His family is mafia. And they were raised together when they were younger, but she was the help's daughter, right? Like she wasn't really ingrained in their life, but Cristiano developed a friendship, and he's being abused by his dad. He was abused as a child. He was beat by his father. It was not a healthy environment for him to live in. His mom was also abused. And then because he looked like his dad, his mom wanted nothing to do with him. So he is very touch starved. He's starved for attention and love. And he gets that from Mina. Mina and him have a friendship. It's an affectionate type of friendship. But Cristiano fixates. And so when they're 14, he is in love with her. And he does something to her because he can't stand the idea of her leaving and he wants to try and keep her. And it scares her half to death. And then they don't really have any interactions until they're 18. And then something happens and they end up sleeping together. And then from here, he ends up having to go away back to Italy for 5 years. And then we have that jump forward. And he has been gone for 5 years. She is a mom to a 4-year-old child. And she finds out that he is home and she is devastated. She is so scared that he is going to find out that they had a child together, that he is going to be back to hurt her. And she is definitely afraid of him when he comes home. And that's all I'm going to say. Oops. And I swapped myself and then swapped myself back.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. This is why we don't record in the evenings. Okay.
I'm going back and forth on my top book. I'm gonna stick with what I have for the moment.
Okay.
I'll call you later if you need to edit something around.
It is what it is. You put it out into the universe, it is what it is.
Okay, so number 2 is Good at Being Alive by Elizabeth O'Rourke. We have Bex in this, whose entire family has been killed in a tragic train accident. And Bex is now put in charge of her family's travel agency. She's desperate to save it. Theo runs the branch in London, and the two of them, so there was supposed to be this reality TV show, and now there's some hiccups with this. And so basically, it is decided that Theo and Bex need to get married and pretend that they're on their honeymoon to create this reality travel series. And so they reluctantly agree to do that. Theo has some deep secrets in his closet that is preventing him from really being able to move forward in his life. And Bex has a lot of baggage from her childhood as well as from this accident. But both are determined to try and save the travel agency, which requires the two of them to pretend like they love each other and are on their honeymoon. And they really don't get along well. So there's phenomenal banter in this. I really, really enjoyed it. It is emotional. Just loved it so much.
Gave up on switching yourself back, huh?
I'm too tired.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about my number one so you can talk about yours.
And go to sleep.
Okay. So my number 1 book for the month is Bone Deep, and this is by Rachel Chadwick. I can't tell you guys a lot about this book, but I will tell you a tiny bit. So this is about Lavana and Patrick. Lavana is a mortician, and she specializes in babies and children, and that is what she's known for in her area. And one day she, needed a little bit of a break. She became a mortician due to trauma of her own. And so she goes outside and she's sitting kind of like a little garden area where they have they have some plots and stuff out there. And this man comes and sits down with her, and that is Patrick, and he is there to visit the grave of his son. And they have a discussion at that point, and they exchange numbers, or they just end up talking. They run into each other later where they exchange numbers. They end up having a one night stand, and then from there they decide that she's freaked out and she just wants to be friends. And so it is a slow burn from then on where we get to them being in a relationship. I know it sounds like a sweet book. It's not necessarily. So just take it from there. It is a dark romance, and that is all I'm going to say about that.
Okay, so my top book was going to be my top audiobook. But then I decided I just loved it so much that it was going to be my top book. So obviously the audio for this is fantastic. If you're interested in audiobooks, this would definitely be one to listen to. Do you know what it is?
No. So Deborah Garland.
Yes.
Okay. I
Good
almost
job.
did this for my top audiobook, and then I was like, no, Good for Her was good too. So I'm going to go with that one. So I wondered
Okay.
if you'd have it. So, okay.
Yeah, I love this book and I still think about it. So that's why it's going to be my top book. So that is Wicked Deception by Deborah Garland. And this is Fallon and Reese. So Fallon is, in the author world, they often call this Nero spicy. So she's been I don't know if shunned from her family is quite the right word, but her dad is important and he has tucked her away in this apartment. And it happens to be next door to Reese. And Reese is in the mafia. He's in the Irish mafia. And for whatever reason, Fallon believes that they are boyfriend and girlfriend, and they have a conversation in the hall. She stalks him. She actually gets cameras so she can see what's going on in his apartment. And she has plants, and she loves her plants. And Basil is probably my favorite character in the book. And her plants actually talk back to her when she talks to them, which I find so entertaining. And so this is just her kind of navigating through this relationship that she believes that she's having with Reese, while Reese is completely oblivious to what is going on. But uh, something ends up happening that she sees. And so when he's wanting to figure out how to keep her quiet, she's like, well, I just need you to go to all these like holiday events with me as my date. And he's like, okay, I can do that. And she believes he's going as her boyfriend, but that's not the case. And then yeah, oh, I just loved it so much. It's so good. And there's a lot more that happens with it, but I don't want to give stuff away.
It's the plants.
It is.
It really
They're so
the
good.
plants. Yeah, it is. All right, guys. Well, there you go. Those are our top books and top audiobook for July. It's time to do August now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well,
Well,
wrap it up and I'll
thanks
let you
for
go to
being
sleep.
here. What?
I said wrap it up and I'll let you go to sleep.
I was trying to, and then you interrupted me.
I'm sorry.
Make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and hype our videos. We appreciate all of that. And make sure you check back on Mondays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and sometimes Wednesdays for new videos from us.
Yeah, and if you miss us during the week, there's other videos at the end of this video that you can click on and watch. So thanks for watching, guys.
1-minute book recs.
Sure, maybe, if that's what I choose to put there. I don't know what I'm going to do later in the week.
You can always go check out our 1-minute book recs, though. That's what I was trying to say.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
because we've been doing this channel for 3.5 years.
A long time.
So
yeah.
There's probably a video or two you haven't watched yet.
Probably. All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.